President Trump today vowing to maintain maximum pressure on North Korea just hours after Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon's historic peace summit.
We seek a future of peace, prosperity, and harmony for the whole Korean peninsula, unlocking not only a brighter future for the people of Korea, but for the people of the world. However, in pursuit of that goal, we will not repeat the mistake of past administrations. Maximum pressure will continue until denuclearization occurs.
Joining me now is author and Fox Business foreign policy expert, Dr. Walid Phares. Good to see you, Walid.
Thank you, David.
How do we verify whether or not this guy, who is a murderous thug, I mean, let's be frank about it, and he doesn't keep his word. You can't expect a person who murders his own family to keep his word. How do you verify that he's getting rid of the nukes?
It's going to be very difficult, very complex, but it is feasible. The idea here is to understand that North Korea has flipped towards a different direction, but it does not mean that they have the Kim Un dictator has basically let go of everything, all the cards. My measurement basically is going to be not just that the war has ceased, not just these great pictures that we can see now on video of the meetings of the two leaders, and there'll be other meetings, maybe the South leadership is going to visit the North soon, but when citizens from North Korea will be allowed to visit South Korea, and the opposite as well. That will be the actual measurement, because it is, remember what happened between East and West Germany, 1989, 1990. It was that flow that really created the change and then the collapse of East Germany.
By the way, when you see the South Korean leader grabbing the hand, or maybe it was the other way around, Kim grabbing his hand, I don't know if I'd want to touch this guy's hand. I mean, this is a guy who uses poison quite frequently. I don't think he'd be beyond, you know, attaching a little bit of plastic to his hand and putting some poison on the outside. I mean, I may sound paranoid, but with somebody like this, I think it behooves you to be a little paranoid, no?
Of course. And who else other than the South Koreans, who have suffered a lot, in addition to the people of North Korea, from that behavior. But at the same time, South Koreans believe that now is an opportunity for them to be able to not really trust the northern regime, but also to push them for change.
Well, and certainly the president doesn't trust him. He's going to make sure that we verify. And John Bolton definitely doesn't trust him. He too, and Mike Pompeo has all the details, his former CIA chief. So we've never been better prepared. I'm just wondering, beyond the denuclearization, which of course is the goal, and we continue to keep the squeeze on until we reach that goal, but how about right away to make sure there are no more auto warm beers, that is, to release all the Americans held by North Korea?
That should come first. The United States has the obligation. This president will do, I think, everything he can, backed by Congress, to, you know, to have our interests first secured. And then obviously comes the normalization, which is going to be a pretty long period of time before denuclearization. I don't think that Pyongyang is going to say, well, I'll denuclearize and then we'll see the rest. It's going to be the other way around. So we want to make sure that we are normalizing, releasing of prisoners, everything we need to have, and then we engage in the tougher one.
And you know what we're getting to is really the Trump doctrine with regard to foreign policy, which is that you don't trust the promises anymore, you trust the action, right?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I remember during the campaign, I was foreign policy advisor, South Korean diplomats would come and see me, and they were afraid, they were panicking at the idea that a Trump administration basically is going to be abandoning them. So I told them, no, there are going to be negotiations, and I'm sure those diplomats today are verifying what we told them 2016.
Now, moving the Trump doctrine to the situation with Iran, of course, we have both the French leader and the German leader here this week trying to convince Donald Trump to keep the Iran deal intact. Despite the fact that they have received all sorts of goodies, $100 billion worth of goodies, more than that even, that they are clearly somehow, you know how money is fungible, you can find a way of moving it around so that it's not directly funding a nuclear program, but indirectly is, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with the money which was already transferred under the Obama administration with the Europeans, but also something else. Now, their markets are open to companies, and these companies in Europe mostly are putting a lot of pressure on the governments there to maintain them in the Iran deal. What the United States needs to do, basically, is be firm on the issue that we need to withdraw, but at the same time offer. These are our conditions. Condition number one, making sure that there are no missiles. And this is something that the Iran regime will not commit to, I believe.
But, you know, there was a phrase that the Obama administration used called snapback. We snap back the sanctions, put them back into place if the Iranians go against what the deal outlines. Clearly, there's not going to be any snapback. I mean, you know, with all due deference to President Trump's new friend in France, I don't think the French businesses are going to snap back into sanctions if the Iranians violate anything. Do you?
Nobody will snap back. I mean, this is a lot of money, and besides, this doctrine is a little bit to be questioned, because you snap back if everything is stable. If Iran was an island in, you know, Fiji Island, you could do that. But Iran has already expanded to Iraq, to Syria, to Lebanon, to Yemen.
Right.
So even next series of sanctions are not going to give us the same results.
So, Walid, what I'm thinking is that's going to happen. They're going to tear up the treaty, or at least Donald Trump is. Don't you think that's going to be the end result?
I think the first option in his head is this. Let's see what happens.